हरे कृष्णा।
हरे कृष्णा माता जी।
हरे कृष्णा माता।
हरे कृष्णा। Anybody knows how to do pranam mantras?
नो आइडिया माता जी।
Okay. I think it is there in my drive. You people can try it. Because last batch I have done the same thing. Okay. Is it visible now?
यस यस माता
Yeah.
जी।
Yeah, you can try. Or shall I do it first and you will follow it?
विल फॉलो इट माता जी।
Om Ajnana-timirandasya
ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य
Jnananjana-shalakaya
ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया
Chakshur-unmilitam yena
चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन
Tasmai Shri-gurave namaha.
तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः।
Shri-chaitanya-manobhishtam
श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं
Sthapitam yena bhutale
स्थापितं येन भूतले
Swayam Rupaya kada mahyam
स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं
Dadanti swapadantikam.
ददन्ति स्वपदान्तिकम्
Padantikam.
पदान्तिकम्।
Namo Vishnupadaya
नमो विष्णुपादाय
Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale
कृष्णविष्ठाय भूतले
Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta
श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत
Swamin-niti namine.
स्वामिन्निति नामिने।
Namaste Saraswate Deve
नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी
Gauravani Pracharine
गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे
Nirvisesha Shunyavadi
निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी
Paschatadeshatarine
पश्चात सतेतरायिणे।
Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य
Prabhu Nityananda
प्रभु नित्यानंद
Shri Advaita Gadadhara
श्री अद्वैत गदाधर
Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा।
Hare Krishna
हरे कृष्णा
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare,
Hare Rama Hare Rama,
Hare Rama Hare Rama,
Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. I'll share this in the group. Try to practice it. Okay.
Okay, okay, Mataji.
Yeah. Hare Krishna. We'll do some sloka recitation for today.
Okay, Mataji.
Om. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Okay. Okay, is it visible now, Mihir?
Yes, yes, Mataji.
Yeah, Ishan, are you there? You should also unmute and speak, Ma. Hare Krishna. Can Yeah, we'll start with the sloka recitation and the translation part. Okay, so that last, I think few second and third chapters we didn't do any sloka recitation, isn't it?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, Mihir, you can start, Ma.
Chapter 5, Karma Yoga.
Oh, you wanted English also in this?
No problem, Mataji.
Okay, okay, then it's okay.
Action in Krishna conscious. Text 1.
Mhm.
Arjuna Vacha Sannyasam Karmana Krishna Punnayo Purnayogam Chasasi Sanchasi Yacheya Ekayoranka
What happened? Sorry, yeah.
Tanme Bruhi Sunishchitam.
Yeah, you can sing it like a song like that. Arjuna Uvacha Sanyasam Karmana Krishna Punaryogam cha samshasi Yachaya Etayorekam Tanme Bruhi Sunishchitam. Got it?
Yes,
You can
Mataji.
try next one. Okay, read the translation now.
Arjuna said, O Krishna, first of all, you asked me to renounce work and then
Renounce.
renounce work, and then again you recommend work with devotion. Now, will you kindly tell me definitely which of the two is beneficial?
More beneficial.
Which of the two is more beneficial?
Beneficial. Here Arjuna is asking doubts again to Lord Krishna. First you said do your work because Arjuna was not willing for the war. So Krishna said, go Arjuna, you know other people will speak very low about you. It's your work to go get a fight and all those things you're saying. Okay, fine. So should I do my work properly or what do you say? Should I do work with the utmost devotion? So which one is more beneficial? Something like Swami Karyam and Swakaryam, you know. Say suppose if I have to get ready for a wedding, somebody's wedding or some party and all, we'll dress up nicely. For a temple, again, that's a different this thing. So, but when you are going in a social engagement, our mindset will be totally different. But when we are going to attend Mangalarti by morning 4:30 in the temple, we will think, chalo, jo bhi hai, saaf suthra kapda rehne se kafi hai. It is best for us to reach on time and attend the Mangalarti, isn't it? We put Lord in the first place, not ourselves, isn't it? But when we are going for a social engagement, what we do, we try to put ourselves in the first place, isn't it?
Yes, Mataji.
So I think which one is more beneficial? That's what is Arjuna's doubt. What do you say if you were in Krishna's place, Lord Krishna's place? Yeah, what would be your answer, Mihir?
Mataji, according to me, it depends upon the place.
Yeah, I've told you two situations, no?
Yeah, so like I think our mind should be calm. Like it should be, our mind should be clean first. So I think Mangala Aarti is better. I mean beneficial. And like there only morning, in the morning time when you go there and when you listen the sound, so like the body gets refreshment that time only. Like instant refreshment will be there. Like because of the sound of mridangam and kartal, you will get an instant refreshment, Mataji.
Yes, exactly.
And like one more benefit is like most of people, they don't like to wake up early in the morning. Like firstly, I was also one of them. So like then I also started going to Mangalarti. So
Everybody.
yeah, so like I feel more fresh present time when I'm going to Mangalarti.
Yeah. Do you think Arjuna doesn't know about this? Why is he asking this question to Lord Krishna? Strange, no?
Yes, Mataji.
Actually, this is all the guidelines written for us, you know, for our day-to-day activity, how best we can do it. Isn't it? We can relate so many things in our day-to-day life. Yeah. Hare Krishna. Ishan, you can read the second sloka, ma.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Sannyasa karma yogascha nishreyas kara bhubho tayastu karma sannyasat karma yoga visasate.
Yeah, very good. Very good. You people are reciting very good. Yeah.
Thank you, Mataji. In translation, the personality of Godhead replied, the renunciation of work and work in devotion are both good and good for liberation, but the true work in devotional service is better than renunciation of work.
Yeah. Just now, Mihir was saying that it's always better to renounce the work. So devotional service is better than a social work. isn't it? Yeah. Next. Yes, Mihir.
Geyaham sam nischa sannyasi
Yeah.
yona desti nak
Nitya sannyasi. Yeya sa nitya sannyasi.
nena sa nitya sannyasi yona
Hmm.
desti na kakshati
Hmm.
निर्द्वंद्वो hi mahabaho sukham bandha pramukshate.
Yeah.
One who neither hates nor desires the fruit of his activities is known to be always renounced. Such a person, free from all dualities, easily overcomes material bondage and is completely liberated. O mighty armed Arjuna.
So person who is not attached to the work what he is doing, he is not expecting anything, the good or bad, the result which is coming out of the work which is assigned to him. So such a person is free from the dualities. That means who is such person who is free from this what do you say, fruitive action of result of it, fruitive action is a person who is there in a renounced order, isn't it? That means a person who is there in a Shuddha, Sattva Guna, a pure devotee, an elevated soul who is in a Krishna consciousness. So for him, it becomes easy to become completely liberated. Oh, mighty arm Arjuna. That's what Lord is saying to Arjuna. Next, Ishan.
Sanko Yoga Kitan Bala
Try to sing it like a song, no?
Bhavantati
Hare Krishna, try to sing it like a song so that it will become practice for you.
Okay, Mataji. Sanko Yoga Pithaga Bala Vadantati na Pandita Ekam Paschit Samma Gubhayor Bindate Phalam. Translation: only the ignorant speak of service karma yoga as being different from the analytical study of the material world. Those who actually learn say that he who applies himself well to one of these paths achieves the result of both.
Yeah. Yeah. But see, ignorant people point of view and the devotee's point of view, it is totally different. See, Sankhya philosophy means personal, impersonal bhakti. They say Brahma Jyoti, that Jyoti, and all those things, different types of yogas and all those things. But a person who is practicing Krishna consciousness and who is a pure devotee, he don't require all these things, and uh, and a Krishna conscious devotee well knows like how to lay down the guidelines to achieve the highest perfection of a life. So only the ignorant people will think, yes, most of the time, I think you have seen in a corona time, many people, the politicians, the film actors, and the people who can afford and all, they were doing some charity and they are just posting it in the social media. They wanted some attention and they wanted publicity and all those things. That is not required, you're just helping another humankind. So you need not advertise yourself. So all those things are done in the mode of a passion and a ignorance. Next, Mihir.
Yatsyanke prapte संस्था
Sthanam.
संस्थानम
Sthanam. Not samsthanam, it is sthanam.
स्थानम yes madam स्थानम तदो गोरपि गम्यते okay एकसंख्या च योगं च यः पश्यति स पश्यति.
Hare Krishna.
Translation: one who knows that the position reached by means of analytical study can also be attained by devotional service, and who therefore sees analytical study and devotional service to be on the same level, sees things as they are.
Here again, elaboratively, they are telling about one who knows the position. So analytically, some studies will be done, and speculatively they are done, but speculations and all will not work in Krishna. The process itself is like that. The chanting, the Shravanam, which is the first and foremost aspect to progress in the bhakti, the chanting, and all your senses are engaged in pleasing the Lord, will definitely help to progress in a Krishna consciousness. So there is a subtle difference. Subtle means on a gross level, there is a subtle difference, but on a minute level, there is a gross difference between these two. So that will come to know in the coming slokas. Yeah. Yeah. Next.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
सन्नस्तु महाबाहो दुःखमप्तु जोगत जोगयुक्त मुनिर ब्रह्म न चिरनाधि गच्छति. Translation: merely renouncing of all activities, yet not engaging in the devotional service of the Lord cannot make one happy. But a thoughtful person engaged in devotional service can achieve the Supreme Personality without delay.
Yeah. So simply renouncing your activities, you cannot make a Lord happy, isn't it? Say suppose, example, I can say you have invited one guest at home, and you are somewhere out. You have not gone to the job, not did your work, and whatever it is, whatever assigned work for that particular day, and that person doesn't know anything. So, and you are thinking that mere ghar mein guest aaya hai, and for that I took a leave. I didn't go to the job. I didn't do this, and all. Is the guest aware of that? Tell me. You're busy whole day outside not doing anything. So, is the guest aware of that? That that somebody is taking time for you? Hare Krishna.
No, Mataji.
Yeah, but how he will become aware that we have given him a time?
By at least calling them or meeting them.
The guest is at your home.
But Mataji, we are outside, right?
Yeah, that's what.
So like we will be going, they will be calling us.
So what is the basic required of us to do to service towards that guest? Tell me.
Mataji, can you repeat the question? Like it's
No,
bit,
what is the basic ethics which is required for us? We have invited, say, suppose you have invited me to your home. Okay.
okay.
So what is basic? You're not able to come for any means. You have applied leave and you thought I'll go and I'll speak to Mataji and I'll, whatever it is, sit and talk, or we'll have lunch together. Something like that must be in the plan of action, isn't it? I'm waiting
Yes,
at your home. But you have absolutely applied leave for me, but you're not able to communicate that to me. So that means, how will I know that you have applied leave for me and you have some preparations for me, and you really wanted to come and say hello to me and wanted to have food with me. How will I come to know?
Like for
Okay.
that,
Yes.
for that I have to come back home
Yeah.
and welcome you,
Okay.
and then at least like I should start with asking for some water,
Yes.
and like have you faced any problem by for searching the house like that?
Yeah. Anything. At least कुछ बात तो बनते हैं. At least basic thing is that come, please sit, have some water. Hope you are
Yes,
not having
Mataji.
convenience and all these things are. So at least I come to know कि चलो ठीक है, मिहिर at least उससे पूछा है मुझे कि I come all the way and similarly in a devotional service, how will a Lord come to know? He is all pervading, all present, all omnipresent. But हम तो ऐसे भटक रहे हैं, घूम रहे हैं. We are not, we are not, we are not saying even hi to and hello to him. So how does he know that at least we are doing some devotional service?
For that, Mataji, we have to at least start with offering them the prasadam we are making at home.
प्रसादम तो दूर की बात है. At least basic things. Say suppose you are out of
Okay.
station, you are not able to in a position to offer prasadam to Lord. So what minimum of minimum what you can do for a Lord?
At least we can start with, means we can start chanting their name.
Yes. Yes. We can read Bhagavad Gita, listen to Srimad Bhagavatam, isn't it?
Do
Shravanam.
kirtan.
Yes. So wherever we
And
are, so that's how he remembers. He remembers us, isn't it? कि साल में एक बार कर लिया, फिर भगवान बोलते वो वाला मिहिर मैं ही हूँ भगवान. वो टाइम में मैंने देखो जन्माष्टमी वाले दिन मैंने आपको बिस लड्डू खिलाया था, भोग में लड्डू रखा था. So why will he remember me? There must be so many mihir in the queue, isn't it?
yes,
So
Mataji.
our relationship with the Lord is just like a day-to-day thing, isn't it? We should know each other. We should get acquainted with each other. We should be familiar with each other, so that automatically something like a telepathy in the medical science, हम लोग बोलते हैं कि the moment we think of something, automatically we can connect to other person without being communicating to them. So उस टाइप का टेलीपैथी वो भगवान के साथ एस्टैब्लिश हो जाता है डे टू डे. So how do we establish that relationship with him? Doing chanting, offering bhoga, attending Mangalarti, regular reading of Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, maintaining a devotee association, and being in the devotee community. So this only the Krishna conscious devotee will think, isn't it? Only that can make him happy, isn't it? So simply we are doing, आज मैंने I'll say I'm a doctor, I'll say कि मैं आज हॉस्पिटल में इतने सारे पेशेंट्स को मेरे वजह से बेनिफिट हुआ है, इनके ट्रीटमेंट में हेल्प हुआ है. So what does Krishna has to do with that, isn't it? Did I do anything to at least say hello to him? Got it? So isn't
Yes.
it there is a difference between our day-to-day affairs and our relationship with the Krishna? So devotion service is something, it's not like a yearly affair or something like that. It has to be done on a daily basis to establish a relationship with Lord. So that's how if we are in continuous relationship with the Lord, then it becomes easier for us to connect with him, and he will help us to elevate from this whatever ignorance we are in, and he'll try to elevate us from the present position. Hare Krishna. Hope it is clear. I have taken much time, but I think it is clear now.
Yes, Mataji, it is clear, Mataji.
Yeah. Next sloka.
Yoga yukto vishuddhatma vijitatma jitendriya sarva bhutat Hutatma.
कुर्वन्नपि न लिप्यते.
Kurvannapinya lipyate.
Yeah.
Translation: one who works in devotion, who is a pure soul, and who controls his mind and senses is dear to everyone, and everyone is dear to him. So, always working, such a man never entangled, is never
Because he has,
entangled.
yeah, because he has a clarity. ये मेरा professional work है. This is my devotional work. ये time को मुझे ये करना है. And 8 hours of my job I have to devote. See, 24 hours has been divided into 8. 8 hours for devotion service, 8 hours for sleeping, 8 hours for your personal works. Isn't it? So he'll never get entangled कि चलो आज मैं मंगला आरती अटेंड करा, नींद आ रही, मैं बाकी काम नहीं करूंगा. आज मैंने भगवत गीता का पाठ किया, मैं और कुछ मैं नहीं करूंगा. It's not like that. So he knows like where to balance what and all. So that eventually comes. Next. Hare Krishna. Next.
नैव किंचित करोमीति युक्तमन्यत् तत्त्ववित् पश्यन् शृण्वन् स्पर्शन् जिघ्रन् स्नानं गच्छन् स्वपन् शशन् प्रलपन् विसृजन् गृहन्नु Mataji, please.
Yeah. Where you are?
Pralapan Visrijan. Third line.
Okay.
He's in the ninth.
Yeah,
Sloka.
Gruhan. Yeah. This is also quite a Hindi is bit difficult for me also. Yeah. Gruhan Nimishanna. This is
Grihannu Nimishanna.
Yeah. Nimishanna Pihi.
Nimishanna Pehi. Indriyani.
Indriyash Ardheshu.
Indriyani Indriyeshu.
Ardheshu.
Indriya Ardheshu. Vartante iti dharayana.
Translation. Yeah.
A person in the divine consciousness, although engaged in seeing, hearing, touching, smelling, eating, moving about, spelling, sleeping, breathing, always know within himself that he actually does nothing at all. Because while speaking, evacuating, receiving, or opening or closing his eyes, he always knows that only the material senses are engaged with their objects and that he is aloof from them.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. 5 sense organs, your eyes, ears, nose, mouth, tongue, and skin. And your working sense organs, your voice, hands, legs, your genitals and the inners, and the mind. So, when all these are engaged in service of the Lord, so they are all conditioned. So they're very much in control. So they can go in a channelized way. Say once any of your senses are not under your control, it becomes difficult to do a devotion service. because eyes will say चलो आज देखते हैं WhatsApp में क्या आया है, किसने क्या status रखा है, मीडिया में क्या हो रहा है, which films have released and what is a web series going on right now. So your senses want pleases and your ear wanted to listen to some music and your skin wanted to enjoy different clothes and your palate wanted to enjoy different taste and all those things. Similarly, the other organs are engaged in sense gratification. But once all your senses are under control, I think if you remember in level 1 class, there is one picture where the senses represent the 5 horses and the mind represents the person sitting on the charioteer, and behind a person sitting is a Paramatma. So once your senses are surrendered to the Lord, automatically it will go in a channelized way. Otherwise, it's next to impossible to have a concentration and progress in a devotional service, isn't it? I think both of you know swimming. Hare Krishna.
No, Mataji,
No,
I don't know.
Okay.
No,
Okay, I
Mataji.
can. Swimming, nahi, at least say suppose swimming anything if you wanted to lead with a guru and who's a learned person, it becomes easy, isn't it? So suppose if you went for swimming class, he will say first you get down here, then you just do some flapping of the hands, and first he will ask you to control the breath, inspiration, expiration, he will tell you, and step by step he'll take you to an extent you'll become perfect over a period of a time. Similarly, if you are learning medicine or engineering or accounting or trading or anything, you're very naive in the beginning, and ultimately you will excel over a period of time, isn't it? Because all your senses and your mind should be engaged in learning that particular thing, isn't it? For a material existence, you need to concentrate so much of, say suppose if I think चलो मेरा MBBS में एडमिशन हो गया, अभी मुझे पढ़ने की कोई जरूरत नहीं है, वैसे भी मैं डॉक्टर बनूंगी, बोलने से थोड़ी ना होगा. No, no, you have to study, you have to write exam, you have to write internal assessment, you have to do the internship, then only you'll get a certificate, isn't it? So if
Yes,
you are
ma'am.
enrolling in anything, for material things it is like, but for devotional service also we have to do the same thing, isn't it? कि ऐसे नहीं चलो ठीक है मैंने ज्वाइन कर लिया कोर्स हो जाएगा ऑटोमेटिकली. Is there any end to that? No, no.
No, Mataji.
So we should put ourselves certain parameters by which over a period of a time we will be able to do it. कि चलो मैं आज 1 round कर रही हूँ, so tomorrow I should get upgraded to the 2 rounds. Today I have a difficulty in reading a Bhagavad Gita 1 sloka, so at least कल मैं 2 पढ़ने की कोशिश करूँ. Something like that we should try to keep a yard, at least 10 minutes. You start with a small thing, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Slowly, your senses will enjoy that. So, how can you say you means, so suppose somebody may not like a bitter gourd, most of the people, isn't it? I think both of you also may not like the bitter gourd. But if you try to make it most relicious, so you can enjoy the actual nutritional value of that vegetable, isn't it? So similarly, the devotional service also, we have to start slowly and see that all our senses are engaged in service of the Lord. So automatically it becomes easy for us to get elevated in the spiritual line. Yeah. Hare Krishna. Next. Hare Krishna. Next, somebody please read it.
ब्राह्मणे अद्य कर्माणि संगम त्यक्त्वा करोति यः लिप्यते न स
Papena.
पापेन पद्मा Netram
Ivambasa.
Ivambasa.
Yeah, I'll tell you one trick. If you're not able to read here, you can see the synonyms here where there is a slip. Okay. Brahmani Adhyaya Karmani Sangam Tyakya Karotiya Ipyatena Saha Prapena Padma Patrani Va Ambasa. Got it?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah. Translation. Come on, read.
One who performs his duty without attachment, surrendering the results onto the Supreme Lord, is unaffected by sinful action as the lotus leaf is touched by water.
Yeah. So once we are totally engaged in service of the Lord, we'll not be affected by, because all our senses are always engaged in pleasing the Lord. So we are away from the mode of a tamasic, ignorance mode, isn't it? So it is something like a lotus leaf, which grows in a muddy water, but it is not touched by any water, isn't it? Yeah. Hare Krishna. Next, Ishan.
कायेन मनसा केवल इंद्रिय रति योगिनः कर्म कुर्वन्ति संगं त्यागः the yogis abandoning the attachment with the mind, intelligence, and even with the senses only for the purpose of purification. Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna. So the yogis, by abandoning attachment, act with the body, mind, intelligence, even with the senses, only for the purpose of purification. So the yogis are totally different. So, what do you say? So, but not for the Krishna conscious devotee. Here, thank you, but I think some voice disturbance. My continue.
Hare Krishna. युक्त कर्म फल त्याग शांति नोति निश्चय किम अयुक्त कमकारेण फले सत्तो निबद्धते. The steadily devoted soul attains unadulterated peace because he offers the result of all activities to me, whereas a person who is not in union with the divine, who is greedy for fruits of his labor, becomes en- entangled. entangled.
Because a pure devotee, he will not is not expecting anything in return. But the person who is there in the mode of passion will expect the fruits of his labor. Let's continue.
Sarva karmani manasa sayaste sukham vasi navadvare pure dehi naiva kruvarna karananya.
Read the translation.
When the assembled living being controls his nature and mentally renounces all action, his resides happily in the city of nine gates, the material body, neither working nor causing work to be done.
Next.
Mataji, I'll try to reply, but there is so much disturbance.
Okay. I think from my end only. Just a minute. I'll try to add somebody. Hare Krishna, is the voice clear now?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, I think my laptop is having some problem. Okay. I need to just wait. I will try to open the Vedabase.io from my mobile. Where are we right now? Text 14, no?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah. Okay. Mm. Okay, is it visible now?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, please continue, ma.
न कर्तृत्वं न कर्माणि लोकस्य सृजति प्रभुः न कर्मफलसंयोगं स्वभावस्तु प्रवर्तते. The embodied spirit master of the city of his body does not create activities, nor does he induce people to act, nor does he create the fruits of action. All this is enacted by the modes of material nature. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So, yeah, in whatever mode we are, because before slide is all about the person who is there in the mode of a goodness. All the 9 gates of his body are been illumined knowledge. So that a person is said to be in a Shuddha Sattva Guna. Okay, isn't it? So he is all illuminated and he is uh, mm, all his senses are engaged in devotion service towards the Lord. So similarly, whatever an individual soul, in their different mode, like a Sattva, Raja, and Tamo Guna, so they will act accordingly. People who are there in a mode of a passion, they wanted the result of their action. People who are there in the mode of ignorance, they are crazy people. We can't talk about them. Yeah. Next. Hare Krishna. Next, please.
Yes, Mataji. Nandate kascha कश्चितिं पापं न चैव सुकृतं विभु अज्ञाने नावृतं ज्ञानं तेन महाश्चित् महान् मुहायांति जन जन्वतः
Jantava. Jantavaha.
जन्तवः. Nor does the Supreme Lord assume anyone's sinful or pious activities embodied begins, however, are bewildered because of the ignorance which covers their real knowledge. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So again, it is also in continuation. To which mode a person is there, he will react accordingly. See, there are 29 slokas in this chapter. So we have done half. Shall we do the remaining half tomorrow, or you wanted to attend the program, Radhashtami program?
We will attend Radhashtami program, Mataji.
We'll try to finish it off today because we'll not be able to cover the full.
Okay, Mataji.
We'll try to finish it off today.
Yes, yes, Mataji.
Okay, you can continue, ma. 16th sloka. Fast, fast.
ज्ञानं तु तज्ज्ञानं शेषनाशितमा आत्मा शेषमधीत गजज्ञानं प्रकाशयति तत्परम्. Translation. When, however, one is enlightened with the knowledge by which science is destroyed, this is knowledge reveals everything as the sun lights up everything in the daytime.
Isn't it? So how does he know it's a sunrise? Because darkness is gone, isn't it? Similarly, a person is illumined by knowledge, then automatically the ignorance of darkness of ignorance is gone. Yeah. Next.
Tad buddhayas tad atmanas tannitahas tad paraya na gucchacha nat
Gachanti. Apudar.
gachantaya punaravranti jnana nibdhuta
Kalmasha.
kalmasha. When one's intelligent mind, faith, and refuge all are fixed in the Supreme, then one becomes fully cleansed of misgivings through complete knowledge and thus proceeds straight on the path of liberation.
Yeah. So definitely once we are focused on all our senses are under control and they are engaged in service towards the Lord, that means we are in the path of a progression. Hare Krishna. Next.
विद्या विनय संपन्ने ब्राह्मण्ये गविहस्तिनि सुनि चैव स्वपाके च पंडिता समदर्शिन्.
Samadarshina.
Samadarshina. Okay. Translation. The humble sages, by virtue of true knowledge, see the equal version of see with equal version a learned and gentle brahmana, a cow, an elephant, a dog, and a dog eater.
Yeah, a learned person will see, some people, if you see, when they're roaming on the road and all, if they see the street dog, they try to pelt a stone at that. And if they see a pig, they say, they use the abusive words, The janwar to already janwar hai. Whatever the sin or whatever the karma it has done in its previous life, now it has taken birth in that form. It is already suffering, isn't it? There is no point a human being abusing another person, forgetting his time and energies. Instead, he can channelize that energy in the service of the Lord, isn't it? So, a person who is a learned person and person who is an elevated spiritual knowledge and who has attained to one stage, it becomes easy for him to see equal vision. Yes, okay, this elephant created by the Lord. Because Paramatma is there even in an ant, he will not spare anybody. So if you are harming an ant or an insect or a spider or anything which is created by the Lord, he will not spare anything. So only a learned person can see the equal vision for all these things. So that's what Krishna is saying to Arjuna. Yeah. Next.
Ihaiva tairjita sargo yesham samye sthitam mana निर्दोषम ही sam brahma tasmat brahmani te sthita. Those whose minds are established in sameness and equanimity have already conquered the conditions of birth and death. They are flawless like Brahman, and thus they are already situated in Brahman.
Yeah. So, the highly elevated persons, the first class devotee, they have an equal vision towards all the living entities. They have already conquered the conditions of birth and death. They are liberated soul. They'll go to Krishna Loka only. So, uh, our aim should be like our karma and our activity should be in such a way that we reach that stage of a Brahman. Next.
Na prana se priyan papa mudijat prapat chapriyam isir buddhi sangmudo brahmani sthita.
Okay.
Translation: a person who neither rejoices upon achieving something pleasant nor laments upon obtaining something unpleasant, who is self-intelligent, who is unbewildered, and who knows the signs of God is already situated in transcendence.
Yeah. So a person who is equipoised both in good and bad situation and he knows so he's already honor and dishonor, all those things, he remains the same. So such a person is said to be in a transcendental state. Next.
Bias sparseva astata. Mataji, can you
Yeah,
recite?
Bhakya Sparshesva Asaktatma
Bias purchase asat atma
Vindati Atmani Yat Sukham.
vindate atmani yat sukham.
Sa Brahma Yoga Yuktatma
Sa Brahma Yoga Yuktatma
Sukham Akshayam Asnute.
Sukham Akshayam Asnute. Such a liberated person is not attracted to material sense pleasure, but is always in trance, enjoying the pleasure within. In this way, the realized person enjoys unlimited happiness, for his concentrates on the supreme.
Yeah. Say suppose one elevated person, like I think you know the story of Haridas Thakur. You must have learned in your heard in your first level 1 class, isn't it? So he's an elevated soul, you know. Even if you try to please the senses by offering something or all those things, it's merely waste of time, because all of them are always engaged in service of the Lord. So they have tasted the higher, what do you say, a higher success and higher taste. So definitely they will not be happy taking the lower taste of life. How can I tell you an example? Say suppose you are working for suppose 1 lakh salary. Okay. If I give you 1,000 rupees, will you feel happy?
No,
Or
Mataji.
if I ask you to work for 10,000, okay, 50,000 also, or 99,000 also, will you feel happy?
No, Mataji.
So similarly, a person who has attained to a stage of transcendental stage is like 100%. So pleasing senses ki are ye meetha kha lo, ye kapda pehen lo, ladki hai, and all those things, you know, these are the sense pleasing things and all, you know, that will it affect a person who is there in that position of a Brahman? Definitely not, isn't it? So if he succumbed to all these things, means definitely has not attained to a stage of a Brahman. Either way, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Next.
यही संस्पर्शोज भोग दुःख दुःखजनयो एव ते अदन्तवन्त कौन्तेय न तेषु रमते बुध. Translation: An intelligent person does not take part in the sources of misery which are due to the contact with the material senses. O son of Kunti, such pleasures have a beginning and the end, and so the wise man does not delight in them.
Yeah. Actually, recently I'm just listening to, I'm a big fan of Gaur Gopalas. I frequently watch his videos and all, and Gauranga Das also. So a lot of learning from their videos. So Gopala's Prabhuji video, one of his video, he was mentioning about his friend, close friend, you know, who was with him in a sannyas ashram, and what do you say? And he wished to marry. So yes, it is allowed, because it's individual freedom, you know. And after he married a girl and all, within 6 months he's been diagnosed with some high grade cancer and all. And he said ki, no, only 6 months is left in my life. And said, whatever said and done, I'm not happy, like, okay, I got married and all, but this is not giving me happiness. I need to come back to the ashram and do my service in the, or whatever. I wanted to stay here and enjoy the positivity of all you people, and I wanted to be leave my body, or the last stages of my life in the temple among you people. So likewise, upon his request, he has been brought back to the ashram and he stayed there. So, you know, the due course of a time, after he got married, so his wife was pregnant, and after the pregnancy is confirmed, he was diagnosed with cancer and all. So hardly he could see his daughter, and he could spend a time with him. So why I'm saying is this: material life is full of misery. So what will happen once you're in a material life is totally a different thing. But spiritual happiness, you know, that person must be happy. He has left this place to have a good life and all those things. But Krishna's plan was something else. So then the realization has come, no, it is all the Krishna's service, and service towards the Lord is the only thing which can elevate from all this material miseries. So that's what I just remember. Yeah, Hare Krishna. So pleasures are always good, but you know, you should take both in the same way, and that will come only once you become to a higher elevated level. And similarly, in first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Kunti prayers will be there, you know. After war is done, everything has been settled down and all, Lord Krishna will settle all the Pandavas, they'll get back their kingdom and all. Dhritarashtra and Gandhari will leave to the forest to spend the rest of their life. And Arjuna will say to Pandavas and Kunti, like, I think everything is settled down right now. I wanted to take leave and go back to Dwaraka. So Kunti will come and speak to Arjuna, Lord Krishna. So see, Kunti will say, I lost my husband at a very young age and I was having 5 kids. How I raised my kids, it was not an easy task. And for no reasons, we have been troubled many times. My son was sent to forest and my daughter-in-law has been disturbed in the courtyard of Duryodhana. And, you know, in the recent time, after the war, you know, Ashwadama will kill all the sons of Draupadi. So he don't want any legal hire for that particular, Pandavas. So we lost everything, Krishna. The grief was not much. Okay, it was very hard time. I can say you, whatever hardship we have gone through in our life. But the grief which is striking my mind when you are saying that you're going to leave this place and leave to Dwaraka is intolerable. So Kunti will say, please give me few more miseries or difficulties so that you can stay back with us. So that's what. So it's always, you know, as long as so many people will think people who are there in a depression and anxiety and people are going through a low phase in their life and so they will think कि भगवान मेरे साथ ही क्यों ऐसे करता है उसको तो सही मिल गया why it's happening with me why I'm not able to do this and all. So this is one classic example of a Kunti Devi, you know. Lord is always present with the people who are there in the mode of a say distressful situation, especially who are there who are the pure devotees. वो भगवान का भक्ति करते हैं and all the senses are engaged in doing service toward the Lord and they are pure devotees. Lord is always with them, you know, and he will help them to navigate that situation. The only thing is that we have to keep faith in him because he has created us. Why does he want us to suffer, you know? So if he's trying to do something which is not compatible to us and which we are not happy with it, it is his mercy, you know. He's trying to make us learn something out of it. So we should, if we take things in that way, definitely thanks Krishna, you have saved me from such a disaster. You will thank him in the end. So never ever, if you are facing any low phase in your life, so bullying can be there, corporate politics can be there, some sort of achievements and family pressures, you are young people, you're under peer pressure and all those things, you know. Never ever take anything to the heart. And if you're not able to handle any situation, then you can think, yeah, Krishna, I understand something you're trying to teach me. So try to take in that way. It becomes easy for you because Krishna will never leave the hands of his devotee. Because if you are feeling one time, sad, maybe he'll find the same, he will feel the same pain 10,000 times or more than that, you know. So he can't see us in a distressful situation. Yeah. Hare Krishna. Next.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Shaknoti haivaya sodam sodum
Yeah, Prakshastra
Chira vimokshata vimokshata
Vimoksanat
kamakrodha uddhavam vigam sayukti nara
Sayukta Sasukhi Nara.
sayukta sasukhi nara.
Yeah, next.
Before giving up this present body, if one is able to tolerate the urges of the material senses and check the force of desire and anger, he is well situated and is happy in the world.
Yeah, so
In this world.
what his Lord is saying is we have to control our senses. Then it becomes easy for us to transcend it to the other world. Next.
योहन्तः सुखः इतर रामस्तथा अन्तर्ज्योतिर्य स योगी ब्रह्म निर्वाणं ब्रह्मभूतः धिगच्छति.
Yeah.
Translation: One whose happiness is within, who is active or rejoices within, and whose aim is inward, is actually the perfect mystic. He is liberated in the Supreme and ultimately he attains the Supreme. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So, yeah. Definitely a person who is there in a Brahman stage and internal happiness, internal blissfulness once anybody attains, and it becomes easy for him to get liberated and achieve the supreme. Next step.
Labdante Brahma Nirvanam Rakshyaha Krishna Kalamasa Chinnad Divda
Dvaidha.
Dvaita Yata
Yatatmana
Yatatmana Sarva Bhuta Hiteraha
Hiterata.
Hiterata. Those who are beyond the dualities that arise from doubts, those whose minds are engaged within, those who are always busy working for the welfare of all living beings, who are free from all sins, achieve liberation in the Supreme. Hare Krishna Mataji.
There is no duality. Only focus is only on the Lord, and such person who has control over his senses and a mind and all definitely will reach the Lord. Next.
कामक्रोध विमुक्तानां यतिनां यत ते चेसतम् अभितो ब्रह्म निर्वाणं वर्तते विदितमनां.
Yeah. Next.
Translation: Those who are free from anger and all material desires, who are self-realized, self-disciplined, and constantly endeavoring for perfection, are assured for liberation in the Supreme in the very near future.
Yeah. So person who has control over his senses, that is free from anger and all, means these are mode of ignorance, isn't it? So people who has elevated themselves by self-disciplining and following all regulatory principles and engaging all the senses in service of the Lord, definitely he is fit for liberation. Next.
Sparsan Kritva Bahir Bahayamas
चक्षुश्चैवन्तरे भ्रुवो
चक्षुष चैव तरे भ्रुवो
चैवन्तरे भ्रुवो या प्राणापानं समौ कृत्वा
प्राणो समो कृत्वा
नासाभ्यन्तरचारिणौ
नासाभ्यन्तरचारिणौ
यतेन्द्रियमनोबुद्धिर्
यतेन्द्रिया मनोबुद्धिर्
मुनिर्मोक्षापरायणा
मुनिर्मोक्षापरायण
ओ
विगते च भया क्रोधो
या सदा मुक्त एव स
यद्य सदा मुक्त एव च.
Yeah. Can you read the translation?
Shutting out all external sense objects, keeping the eyes and vision concentrated between the two eyebrows, suspending the inward and outward breath within the nostrils, and thus controlling the mind, senses, and intelligence. The transcendentalist, aiming at liberation, becomes free from desire, anger, and desire, fear, and anger. One who is always in the state is certainly liberated.
Yeah, one is focused. In a meditation, we can say an example of Dhruv Maharaj. He has done the same way, concentrated his mind on between Agnya Chakra. They say, the place where we keep our tika. So, and having the control over his breath and everything and all. So such a person is said to be in a mode of an elevation and definitely is tend to be liberated. Yeah. Next.
भोक्तारं यज्ञ तपसं सर्वलोकमहेश्वरं सुहृदं सर्वभूतानां ज्ञात्वमं शान्तिमृच्छति. Translation: a person in full consciousness of me, knowing me to be the ultimate beneficiary of all sacrifices and austerities, the supreme lord of all planets and demigods, and the benefactor and prevents peace from the bonds of material miseries.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So Lord Krishna is concluding here, those who know me, he'll be free from all these material miseries and he will focus his mind and do his karma as a karma in Krishna consciousness. So at the very beginning of the chapter, Lord Arjuna was asking to Lord Krishna, so which I should do it, Krishna? You're saying do my work. Again, you're saying do the work in Krishna consciousness. So can you explain the difference in between these two? So Lord Krishna has enumerated everything, what exactly has to be done when you are there in a mode of a Krishna consciousness. Step by step, he has explained how a devotee will do the work. So once you have tasted the higher success, then you don't want to settle down for a less. Similarly, the process of Krishna consciousness itself is like that. All the sense organs and your working sense organs and your mind is engaged in pleasing the Lord. So it becomes easy for you to do the work. So which impersonalists will not have it because they have a different way of doing the worship towards the Lord and they may and may not reach the Lord. But for a Krishna conscious devotee, it is for damn sure he will reach it unless you're self-disciplined, self-determined, and you follow all the austerities and principles which are laid down and do the service towards the Lord. So, Arjuna, hope it is clear to you now. So, what is the difference between Karma Yoga in Krishna consciousness and Karma Yoga without in Krishna consciousness? Hope it is clear for you also. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah. So, our next chapter will be on the 6th chapter, I think, Dhyana Yoga. isn't it? It's all about yoga. Yeah, dhyana yoga. Okay?
Dhyana yoga, Mataji. Yes,
Yeah.
Mataji.
This will be so I think next week we'll be completing the dhyana yoga. So these first 6 chapters are called the karma yoga chapters. Here only Lord Krishna will be telling about the karma, different types of karma, how you have to do, how you get elevated, and all those things. Okay, hope it is clear till now.
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, sloka recitation also you people are doing very well. I think over a period of a time till we complete the 18 chapters, you will be well versed, and you can volunteer to do the recitation in Ekadashi also. I'm taking care of Ekadashi recitation. Okay.
Okay, Mataji.
Yeah, attendance. I think Mataji she didn't join today. I'll just post a message to her so that she will message you individually for the attendance key. Okay.
Okay, Mataji.
Yeah. Any doubts?
No, Mataji.
Okay, so enjoy Radhashtami tomorrow. Okay, see you all next weekend. Yeah, Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Yeah, thank you participants for your active participation. See you all next weekend. Hare Krishna.